Hello, my name is KRooney, and this is my Module 2 case study presentation on punishing choices for ALTC 803. What actually happened in the scenario itself is situation was presented in Memphis, Tennessee at Alton Elementary School. It was between Jamal's mom and Miss Whitford, his teacher, also along with another coworker of Miss Whitford's. And it was a conversation between the teacher and a parent um, about a well-being of that parent's child, and then also a decision of what is the right decision to make in this situation. The facts were that the teacher noticed the behavioral change in Jamal around Halloween time and noticed some bruising on his arms. It seemed a little bit more than just a corporal punishment, which isn't accepted in that culture and that part of the state itself, and also a cut on his face, which really kind of shook her a little bit to notice that kind of bruising. And also was told that the mother had a new boyfriend at the time. And when she approached the mom about this, they were talking, just kind of, they got to know each other outside the school in the pick up and drop off line. And then brought her inside to actually have a conversation with her. The mom was very upset and began the conversation, packed her stuff up, and wanted to leave, even threatening to the point of taking Jamal out of school. And she believed, the mom, that the new boyfriend was good for herself, their situation, and for Jamal, and that the way she wanted to raise her child or punish her child at home was not the school or the teachers' business. How they handle things themselves at home was a family matter, and no more than that. A little bit more information about that. Background in law and ethics. In Kansas, mandatory training is required for each accredited educational system. And they have to talk about child abuse, neglect, emotional, sexual, all those things. And as an educator in Kansas, you're ethically responsible to uphold the below code of conduct. The professional educator shall work in the best interest of their students and honor the responsibilities to their students, school, district, community, state, and profession as evidenced by responsibilities to students, responsibilities to district, and responsibilities to the profession itself. Uh, my analysis of the situation is really kind of conflicting as a parent and as an educator itself. I feel like the teacher probably could have gathered a little bit more information, talking with the student, and kind of paying attention to how long this had changed, seeing if anybody else's attitude had changed. It's definitely a hard situation anytime you accuse someone of hurting someone else, especially a child or even their own child. Never been in that situation. Hope I never am, as a parent or educator. But I feel like she could have probably gathered the facts a little bit more. And on the flip side of that, kind of who can you go talk to? Because as she talked with Colin, as he reported previous year when talking to the principal, if he goes and tells the principal or she goes and tells the counselor, mandatory reporting, somebody's going to have to call the law or a reporting agency and tell them what's going on or what has happened or what's been found. So, how can you talk to somebody, quote unquote, off the record about a situation like this, knowing that there really is no off the record type of conversation that can happen around this? So, really a lot of self reflection as she was looking at her pictures, her family pictures, looking at her class pictures. It definitely could tell it was tugging at her ethical morals, how she wants to raise her family, where she came from in a different part of the country, and now living in and now another part of the country and doing her teaching and trying to understand the culture and the respect and the responsibilities of each place she was in. Referring back to the readings and all the stuff she had studied in school, couldn't prepare her for a situation like this because it was a real life situation. Um, and then also you got to think, don't jump to conclusions. All the time just because you see something like that doesn't mean it's neglect or abuse or anything along those lines. Getting to know your students and building those relationships and being able to talk with them and work through things like that would definitely help in this situation and other situations. And then kind of understanding your audience and understanding the behavioral pattern of that student in the past, and really trying to understand the big picture before jumping in to anything. And that had to be a tough conversation to have with a parent. And again, but like I said, I think going back to gathering to more information, and just knowing your rights and responsibilities as an educator would help the situation. Again, I hope I never get faced with this, but if I do, I hope I follow my own advice and really try to get to the bottom of this before I jump to conclusions or point any fingers. Here are the references I used for this. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Thank you and talk to you guys soon.